Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday, and welcome into Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got the Skyward Sword Randomizer weekly race. Tracking today are Joshi and Echo, and on commentary along with me is Firework. How are you, Firework?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself, Golden?
Pretty good. You know, beginning of the new year. First snowstorm is going to come in tomorrow.
I am
Monday. So
currently in the middle of a blizzard in New York State.
Yeah, we here in the DC area are about to get hit with a bad snowstorm. So I had to go get some salt and a shovel, but should be good. Though
Season 3.
Yeah, we are, I want to say 6-7 days away from the qualifiers opening for the Season 3 tournament. So we are going to be playing on the Season 3 settings. First, I guess we've got on our stream today, it is Oni and Audrey. I think they both joined after Season 2, which at this point was like 2 years ago. They both qualified in the top 5, so they kind of overqualified for the Remlets tournament. So they should be fighting for, I don't know exactly what spot, but somewhere in the top half of the main bracket.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good snapshot in the top bracket of Season 3. Some of the settings that we have Master Sword requirements, so there's going to be 1 extra sword in the pool that we may or may not see today. 3 required dungeons. Let's see here, what else?
If you last watched Remlets, we start with 1 tablet, and we actually have a random spawn. And you start out random statues with each spawn. So kind of every seed is a little different in that respect. You'll start in a different place. You have to route a little more dynamically.
Assuming we get a starting spawn other than Lanayru Gorge or Lake Floria.
That's true. Or Knight Academy, which I think is around like a 25% chance that you just get vanilla spawn. So we'll have to see when the runners get going. What else? None of our dungeons are open from... none of the dungeons that can be opened from the start are opened from the start.
We got key pieces. We got main node LMF.
Yeah, you do have to raise Linear Mining Facility if it's required. Earth Temple is closed. The C chart is shuffled in the item pool. So there's a few more item requirements. Because of that, the path hints can be a little more interesting, or they can just point to tablets.
Speaking of hints, we had a major update to hints since Remlets, didn't we?
Yes, so we'll talk about this as they play, but Remlets, we used all hints on Phi. Here we are putting all the Baron hints are on Phi, but we are using 14 of the Gossip Stones for the remaining hints. Always hints are duplicated, and then you get paths, you get 1 Triforce hinted, and sometimes hints as well.
Our runners are off?
Yeah.
We're starting at the Fire Sanctuary, okay.
This is not a great start because you can't really do much with it.
Fire Sanctuary isn't even required. It's ETLMF Sandship.
Yeah, this does mean we have a Ruby Tablet start. I see Lanayru Mine, Lanayru Caves,
and Thunderhead.
Lanayru Mine does seem to happen a lot, I think because it's often locked behind claw shots. Lanayru Caves being barren, it's 2 checks. That one happens. Feels like it happens a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see any runner actually go back into Eldin, because typically in Eldin you can do a lot early on.
It depends on your starting statue, I feel like, because in addition to that Fire Sanctuary statue, we may have another additional statue.
They have to, actually.
They have to? Oh,
yes.
We got Fledge's Crystals has possibly required Gratitude Crystal Pack.
Yeah, that is the hint importance we talked about. Essentially, when you get hinted an item that could block something, the game will tell you if the location is required, possibly required, or unrequired. Gratitude crystals, because Betrow is up to 50, are typically not going to be unrequired if Betrow's house is not barren. although there are some edge cases. So really all that means is you're probably going to be able to skip Fledge's crystals, although you might not, because maybe you're going to have some crystals.
And we have Elden Path of Moldarak.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Since
we have a bomb bag start.
Oh,
that is really good for Elden.
Yeah, that is one reason why. I mean, especially with Elden, I think it's a good call typically to go back and do checks, because Elden, from any of the 4 statues you can get, there's a lot you can do in Elden. Yes, as Sledge is pointing out, when you walk in, if there are gratitude crystals on the chandelier, you actually get the spawn sound, so you know. Yeah, I do feel like this is a seed where that bomb bag start. Every runner is going to start Elden. The question is, are we going to see a sky loop before or after?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, both of our runners have realized that they have bombs, so it really can go either way. We've seen a very similar path taken by both of our runners. I think the only difference was Oni did not talk to Peter in Bamboo Island.
Yeah, so if we have to see Beatrice's crystals, we'll talk about this. Someone kind of accidentally stumbled on an interesting way to route in the conversations, which was previously kind of unknown. But if you talk to him the first time, it does make the whole check faster if you do it daytime. The estimated time of these runs is probably going to be somewhere in like the 2:15 to 2:30 range. I know the stream says 3.5, but on these settings, these runners have been around that 2:15 to 2:30.
All right, we have Central Skyloft to Scaldera, which probably is either a projectile or a set of mitts at this point.
Yeah, it could be an Earth Temple key piece as well.
Oh yeah, that is true. I completely forgot about key pieces as well.
Yeah.
So we are getting a Skyloft dip from both of our runners. Oni looks like is starting off in Upper Academy, and Andrew's starting in Central.
This is one thing where you will see a lot of variance, because if you are trying to route Beatrice in, talking to Beatrice before you go into Night Academy can be good, because Night Academy is a good place to sleep till day. You have to talk to Beatrice twice before she calls you darling, and then you can kind of go get her crystals. And so, while there is a sometimes hint for Beatrice's crystals, it does make sense to route this in, because it's pretty quick.
Ooh, Cave's Key on Potion Lady. Nice early requirement out of the way.
Yeah. Depending on where our spawn is in Linearu, that could open up the entire region. We don't really know yet.
That
could. I did see in the sky, it looked like the spiral charge rocks were all dead. Looked like the shed chest that's scale locked was dead as well. I don't think I saw it big.
Yeah, I don't believe so either.
Yeah. If you have not watched Skyward Sword Randomizer race, so we do not have chest type matches content. Instead, we have what's called chest dowsing, where you use the in-game dowsing tool, and if a chest has a potentially useful item, it will ping, essentially. Potentially useful includes a lot of things that may not be useful. So it includes every wallet in these settings, because we do have some more expensive beetle purchases. It has every gratitude crystal pack. It can also just have items that only lock things that don't give you anything. So fetch quest items that are junk will still ping. But it's essentially our version of chest type matches content. And so you will see the runners in areas with a lot of chests do this.
Ooh. Beetle on Fletch's Gift. That is a very useful item.
Yeah.
And a beetle in Waterfall Cave. Both of our runners got beetles fairly quickly.
Yeah, and I don't think either of those beetles will be path. They could be Path to Scaldera, I guess, if Hook Beetle locks something, but there's not a lot that is Hook Beetle locked that's not also locked behind Bomb Bag, so
yeah,
we'll have to see.
Some interesting logic would be if that Cave's key is the path for something in Sandship.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Or in Sand Sea, rather.
Those 2 Earth Temple key pieces could kind of be anywhere, and so the path hint can point to that.
Also, I do want to say, just quick shout-outs to Adri for using my festive holiday texture pack. I have not seen that in a long time.
I forgot that was you who made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think...
That made me smile.
So I think what we will see is Oni went and talked to Beatrice, and now I think we'll actually sleep in Beetle's shop to change to the next day. I don't think you're going to rush Beatrice right now, but it is useful to kind of go to the next day just in case you have to do it. Because this is a check that you do have to plan ahead for a little bit if you don't get the hint right away. Which you will not always get hinted.
All right. Come on, Beetle. What are we selling today?
Yeah, that gold rupee that they got is very helpful.
Okay, we got a bottle. We got wallet. That if that wasn't on 300, that would be.
It's
something.
Still useful though because wallet upgrades fill. So that wallet upgrade will give you 300 rupees. So if you saw what Oni did, that is actually what you want to do. That was an interesting order. I've never seen that order of operations before. I thought it would. It maxed before it took away the rupees. Yeah. That's and
we have mitts.
With Elden Volcano, that is incredibly useful.
Yeah.
Because that, with Bomb Bag and mitts, you can now full clear and Beetle. You can full clear the Elden Volcano region, pretty quickly. So now we're going to see, so the 800 item is a Gratitude Crystal Pack, 600 is a bow, and we'll see what's on 1,000. That's the last item.
And also, the fact that we now have digging mitts and bombs, we can play Thrill Digger if we need money.
Yeah, we're not going to need to. We very intentionally, well, I say we, I was not involved in planning, but I think it was very intentional that they chose to have wallet upgrades fill. I have had a seed where you have had to do rupee grinding because there was something very early, and rupee grinding in this game is not fun, and there's no good way to do it. Every version of it requires you playing a minigame of some kind.
Thrill Digger, my beloved, how dare you besmirch it so?
Yeah, so Oni is going to go do Oriel and Pero here. This makes sense because you've got a bottle quickly. Central Skyloft is your path, so there are 2 items there.
Yeah.
I think these are checks you're going to do either way.
Adria's also doing Beatrice some more. And he also got the Hook Beetle as well, getting that other beetle from Fledge.
Yeah, Robo, I've had some conversations with one of these Skyward Sword HG randomizer developers about rupee grinding logic, because they are implementing Shop Shuffle in that randomizer, and it's tricky. I don't think either of these 2 runners will do this, but there will definitely be some runners in season 3 who kind of go out of their way to get things that don't ping, not just for money, but for hearts. One thing we do have enabled is the Horde battle at the end of the game, and it can be a little punishing. And so having extra health can be really helpful for that.
And speaking of health, we are back down to our lowest default starting health for Season 3 with only 6 hearts as opposed to 8 hearts for Remlets.
Yes.
So we have a little less wiggle room in our ability to take damage.
Yeah, and I think we are actually seeing both runners kind of, well, I don't know about both runners. Oni is definitely prioritizing doing Beatrice conversation when he came back. Again, this is something you just kind of want to route in case you need to. Because if you don't talk to her and you have to come back, it can be painful.
Yeah, both of our runners have completed their Beatrice conversations. Yes. I think Oni still needs to talk to Peter, though.
Yes,
which we might see here.
So I actually think we're going to see both runners do this on Bamboo Island during daytime. So this is the thing I was referencing that got discovered. You can actually have the conversation with him during the daytime on Bamboo Island. Like he says, I'm worried about my daughter. And so you don't have to do a day-night cycle. You don't have to run back and forth. Because once you have the conversation with him, you can just go to Beatrice in daytime.
Oh, right.
And she'll invite you to her house. There's like a specific way you have to do the conversations on Bamboo Island. So you have to enter and say, yes, I'm going to play. Oh, I have to pay. No, I don't want to. And then after that, you can basically run out and run back in. So Audrey did the first part of that already, which was kind of clearing the Bamboo Island tax. It's legitimately I was watching someone and trying to explain to them, and I was like, no, this isn't going to work. You have to do it this way. And then they did it this way, and I was like, how did that work?
This game just is full of surprises.
Yeah.
I don't think we will ever fully understand everything that happens in this game.
They're working on decomp project, so maybe.
Maybe.
I am kind of I'm like not surprised necessarily.
Not surprised by what?
I think maybe as soon as I got the mitts, would have just rushed to Eldon to go full clear it.
Yeah. But, I mean, sometimes it's a little bit of thinking also like what your opponent would do. I'm pretty sure both of these runners are very much running on the same wavelength right now.
Yeah, they do know each other well. I'll be interested to see how they route Eldon Volcano here. I think what we're going to see is they're actually going to do kind of the backwards Eldon. So they're going to, So I think we're going to see both of them kind of clear this the reverse
Top
way
down.
out of logic. Yes.
Yeah.
Because to get to the checks at the beginning of Eldon Volcano, they're going to have to kind of come down and blow up the shortcut. Or just go backwards the entire way. So it makes a lot of sense to go up here. We'll get 2 hints. We'll see them do a couple out of logic tricks, out of logic bombs to blow up a bridge.
Yeah, doing Skyloft definitely gave our runners a nice Eldon starter kit.
Yeah, which I mean, kind of had to. I'm expecting that our Eldon to Moldarak is going to be a tablet. That has been. Tablets are pretty reliable path items in these settings. Although Eldon Volcano has 17 checks, so there's a lot of good stuff. I think they're also going to be really happy that they got that. Oh no, they didn't get the bow.
Yeah, the bow's a little too expensive.
Yeah, we might see some tricky bomb bag strats for fighting the bokoblins in Magma Turf.
Ooh. Did not see what that hint was.
No,
I saw possibly required.
That was Skyloft Trial has
Water Dragon Scale.
Plus I think one more.
Huh.
So this is another new hint thing. So that we have Dusk Relic Shuffle on. There are 3 Dusk Relics in each trial shuffled. So there are 4 items. And the hints basically tell you, they don't tell you which check it is, but they tell you what useful items are in the Silent Realm, and if they are required, possibly required or not. possibly required scale is really interesting because to me that tells me there is nothing hard required in Lake Floria. Which
maybe like a sword or gratitude crystals.
Yeah, so I think we are going to see. Well, the runners don't have heart, but I think we're going to see the runners delay that until they have to because it's not an essential item right now.
Yeah.
And that definitely can't be our path item because if it were, we would have. So the way the song hints work is required items are hinted first.
The narrow gorge path to Tantalus. That's a pretty big hint right there because there's only 3 checks in there.
Yes. Yes, as Sludgeon is saying, it is possible to get this seed without getting anything scale locked. Well, anything locked at all in Lake Floria.
And there's our first sword underneath the tower.
Because every check in Lake Floria is scale locked, logically. So it is possible you will never have to go into Lake Floria. And I just lost streams. Just bear with me for a second.
I did as well.
We are just going to refresh our commentary page. Sorry, bear with us.
All right.
Okay, it looks like it's back.
We're good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I
got the hint. Got the hint in Thrill Digger, but
that was just our duplicate Fledge hint.
Just duplicate Fledge hint, okay.
Yeah. As RoboJumper, yeah. Yeah, RoboJumper giving a hypothetical that could not be true. But yeah, our starting entrance could be at the Lake Floria waterfall as well, and nothing in Lake Floria is required. But yes, at least 6 of the checks in Lake Floria are always locked behind Water Dragon scale, so none of those have anything that is hard required to be missed. Did we miss anything else?
I don't think so. The only thing we would have missed is the dig spot on the boulder. Ooh, we have Gust Bellows.
That's definitely our path to Molderak.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, there could be something else, but yeah. I did not see what Oni did. Unfortunately, we lost the comms page for a minute. Trez was able to fix it pretty quickly. That goddess sword is nice because it does help with some. It'll help with some fighting in Magma Turf here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new on either of our runners trackers. We'll get our Platts check here. We have a couple of. We have at least one ping in Boko Base.
Yeah, I am not good at Boko Base dousing other than is there something in the lower area or not.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Golden.
Sledge says Bone Branch chest. I will believe him.
Yeah, that tracks. Now we're gonna make use of the beetle potential here to see what items we've got.
Yeah.
Looks like more money up on the cliff.
I do feel like we've got to see one of our tablets here in Elden Volcano.
Well, there's a bow that makes the beetle shop a little redundant.
Yes. So that means they're not going to have to go into Beetle Shop for anything anymore. We'll not need any money.
I mean, those gratitude crystals, maybe, but...
Oh, that's true. But those are locked behind 800 rupees. So you're not going to have to get it for a while.
Yeah, it really depends on where the other grass crystals are and how many we pick up along the way.
Yeah, that is Magomit.
Ooh, that is... Okay.
I don't love that because I feel like you are probably going to go back into Boko Base.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a pretty good kit for Boko Base right now, having Gust Bellows and Bomb.
Yeah, Boko Base is one of those areas you really don't like to have to double dip because it's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
But I also think with the items you've got, you kind of have to go there because you just don't have that many checks. And there's at least something useful that is, at this point, it's not claw shot locked or whip locked. We don't think. Yeah,
Boko Base is very linear, and there's no real way around that.
Yeah, it's you do have to double dip it sometimes. It's not an area you like to, if you can avoid it.
Okay, well, we got 2 pings at least in Magma Turf.
Yeah. The other reason I would at least be tempted to do Boko Base is there's a tiny chance that those mitts are your actual path item.
Oh, and there's our first Triforce.
Yeah. So one of the 3 Triforce pieces is hinted. We have not gotten the hint. I didn't see which one that was. That hint is of variable usefulness because it could be... Yeah, I've had a seed where I had 2 Triforce pieces in Waterfall Cave, and one of those was hinted.
Oh, that's lovely.
The 3rd Triforce was also directly hinted, but it was 2.5 hours into the seed. So we'll see. That is
speaking of a Triforce. Awesome. So place your bets now. Are we gonna get a hinted Triforce in Magma Turf?
There is a 2/3 chance that we will. So I mean, don't want to Monty Hall you, but play the odds. Let's see. Was there a 3rd? I guess there was a 3rd one here. No. Yes. Okay. If the 3rd one is here, it's going to be really funny.
What are the odds of that? Okay, no, it's gratitude crystals.
So, right now, they're in an interesting spot with gratitude crystals. So, some of the loose crystals are in logic. It's 11 of them. For 10 to be in logic, you either need claw shots or quick beetle.
I don't believe either of our runners got... oh wait, no, those are Fletch's crystals, not Fletch's gift.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, Fletch's crystals is not in logic until LMF is raised.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to see either runner do 10 loose crystals out of logic here, but it is something they could consider. Because if you're looking at what checks they have left, there is Boko Base, there is Beatrice's crystals, and I'm not sure there's a lot left.
Yeah.
So, and there's Betro 5 and 10.
Okay, so we are going to go back to Boko Base. We're going to see what's on Bone Bridge.
Yep. And we'll probably see them douse again just to confirm. The one thing we could tell is the chest was not in the upper area. It was... Those are pretty easy to differentiate. And all of the lower chests are accessible with the items they have, so this makes a lot of sense. We'll probably see them both warp out to their starting spawn.
And this bow is going to come in very good handy.
There is one chest in Upper Boko Base. I wonder if we're going to see either one of these runners... Well, the problem is one of those is claw shot locked. I don't know if either of these runners know the trick to bypass the whip or claw shots.
Yeah.
But I don't think it makes a lot of sense to do right now.
No, I wouldn't think so. And that's a sword. Okay.
Yeah, that is a claw shot lock, so there's no reason to do it. That is the east side. I mean, Ballad of the Goddess is interesting because Thunderhead. Wait, Thunderhead was Baron.
Baron's Baron, yeah.
So
that sword really is not really useful right now.
We're either going to have something on Beatrice.
So it looks like Oni's going to go to Betro. And it looks like Audrey's gonna do Beatrice. So we're gonna see a little split screen here of both of our options.
Yeah, did Audrey do both conversations?
He did the one. He might just suck it up and do the other one at night.
Oh, he's gonna do the Silent Realm. I think maybe. Oh no, he can't. He doesn't have.
We don't have a harp.
Yeah, I had to think about that. He just wanted to finish Pero, I think.
Okay, yeah. And now he's going to Beatrice.
Yeah. I mean, makes some sense to do it. You can open up the Night Patrol so you don't have to hop down.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them did the conversations on Bamboo Island. Right, 5
did one, but
5 and 10 are junk. I'm starting to wonder if we're going to have 5 crystals on Beatrice and something on 30, or if Beatrice is going to have something hard required. It's one of the two.
I want to see. I want to see fire shield earrings. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't really help. I
mean, it does open.
No, because we don't have whip or claws.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I mean, it's Beatrice's. Oh, Malara's crystals is also open. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Dust Bellows.
And we didn't get a Village Baron hint, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, there are. Skyloft Village does have 2 checks in these settings, so it's a few more than in Remlets, where it was just 1. And it was one of the most frequent Baron regions, because just the way Barons work, there are not always a lot of Baron regions. Although we do get a lot of Skyloft Village Baron.
So, also technically, they could also do Bird's Nest out of logic without claws.
How?
If you position Beetle's ship, we got the Amber Tablet. Never mind, okay. We're good. And a bottle on Beatrice.
Yeah, so that is Central Skyloft. Path to Scaldera could be the Amber Tablet as well.
Yeah.
Wherever, unless their desert spawn is.
Well, actually, no. That's not Central Skyloft. That's Skyloft Village.
Oh, right. That was Malara, not Beatrice.
Yeah, that's Malara.
Yeah. So they will actually be able to full clear Lanayru Desert if they have access to Lanayru Desert. And so the question now is their spawn in Sansi or not? Because that changes a lot of things.
Ooh, we're at Temple of Time.
Yeah, this is the better Temple of Time spawn, though. Oh, they don't have claw shots, so they can't get those, but you can douse everything that's claw shot locked, at least. This is the better Temple of Time statue because you're closer to desert.
But yeah, Bird's Nest out of logic.
Actually, this is the worst one because you do have to Temple of Time skip from here or Bit Warp.
Yeah.
I'm not great at Temple of Time skip, but
right next to our Barren Caves. That is true.
Yeah, you still probably want to grab this statue though, because this is the closest way to get in, and you're going to need to do that to get into Sansi for our required sand ship.
And Gorge for our path to Tantalus,
yes.
Which is probably going to be our sea chart at this point.
I think it has to be at this point. It's got to be either
or whip. Could be a whip for key logic, for boss key.
Sorry. I hope you all can't hear. There is a surprisingly low-flying helicopter over my place.
I can't hear anything. Right, so you gotta hate that when you go up to there and you realize it's the Fire Node platform that's pinging.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but
it is a little disappointing when you go to when you're without claw shots and all the claw shot lock chucks are pinging.
Yeah,
this is a very interesting setup for this. I've never seen this setup before. I like that.
That's cool. Yeah, I actually like it better than the one on the ground.
Yeah,
I'll have to think about using it.
Definitely gonna maybe steal a little page from that playbook.
That's another bottle. So we are going to see Oni do Temple of Time Skip. This is a double break slide. Break slide is essentially a trick where you kind of pause at the right time when you're running and you put your control stick in ESS position and you keep your forward momentum for a little bit. You can do this on the ground normally. I actually think in a task, it's the fastest way to move, as I understand. But in the sand, you slow down a little bit. There is also a way to do a back in time trip to kind of warp and skip this area. Which is the way I like to do it because I don't feel confident with this break slide.
Yeah, 3D Zelda games just love their ESS positioning for some reason.
Oh, I was like watching. I'm like, that's gonna be close on me.
Almost every 3D Zelda game has an ESS trick.
And yes, Zelda player, as Sledge said in chat, there's been a Skyward Sword randomizer for about 4 years. There's actually been a Skyward Sword HD randomizer for a little over 6 months as well, if you want to play for that one. Yeah. Oni did get it. That is one of the hardest tricks in the game. And I think we're actually going to see Audrey do the bit warp instead, which the chest that you get spawned next to actually has something. So this will get Audrey to check out of logic.
Yeah, the only problem is just damaging down. That's the only drawback to having a good amount of health is when you do decide that you want to do back in time, getting rid of that health is a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah. I don't know if bombs are faster than the just running up against the cactus. Like the cactus damages you slower. It's a quarter heart, but you don't get iframes. So I find it to be a pretty good way to kill yourself if you need to. But yeah, we're going to see Audrey do what's called the Upper Academy Bit Warp. So if you have not watched Skyward Sword, yes, Audrey's playing on the intro screen. What he's going to do is essentially he can save his file in this state. And once he saves, he will save in this state at the same time that he loads in. And it will warp him to his coordinates from the save statue, which in this case will be on that platform by Lightning Node.
And on Oni's side, we got 2 items.
Audrey did not do that right. He canceled instead of saving.
Okay, so it looks like, are we going to attempt Temple of Time Skip at this point? I think
he might go get some more things and then damage down. The one thing Temple of Time Skip I think helps a little bit with here for Oni is you want to end at LMF because you can full clear it, so Oni will be able to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas the Bit Warp, Audrey will kind of start at LMF and have to go back to Fire Node.
Yeah, in Fire Node we did find a sword and Beetle's insect cage.
Yeah, so we are actually only 1 sword away from our required swords. Since
for 36 minutes into the seed. That is not bad.
Yeah.
We have one sword and one Triforce left, and then just dungeons and Emerald Tablet and Harp. Alright, what does the Lightning Node have in store for us today? Which node do you prefer, Golden? Do you prefer Lightning Node or Fire Node?
Which node do I prefer? Can I be honest and say I kind of hate them both? I think I prefer Lightning Node, but...
I mean, yeah, you could have them both fighting for third place. We all know Water Node is the best node, but...
yeah, I think I prefer Lightning Node just because you don't need the Hook Beetle to do it.
Yeah.
But, yes, I
will agree with you there. Lightning Node definitely is the lesser of two evils.
I just have had seeds where I've had to go into Fire Node 3 times.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
not fun.
Once without bombs, once with bombs. Ooh, a harp.
That is a required item.
I'm fighting really hard not to say what I'm thinking right now.
Nope. You're not allowed to use the J word. That is not a word we want to hear yet.
What about propeller? Not quite as fast as the J word.
Well,
and we have a sword. I'm saying Jet Seed. I'm saying it.
Oh God!
I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What I will say about these settings is there's definitely a pretty wide variance. I would say until we know where that third Triforce is, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I definitely cannot wait to see that Triforce hit if we see it this seed. But we already have Master Sword. I'm trying to wonder what is going to be in Lake Floria behind that possibly required Water Dragon scale.
It's Gratitude Crystals or a beetle. So like it is almost impossible for a beetle to be hinted not required. Just as an example.
Yeah.
Just because of the way the game logic works. Bows and slingshots are often not going to be not required. Gratitude Crystals, unless they're locked behind Patro 50, are not going to be not required.
So we have Oni now raising LMF, which I imagine we're probably going to just go right in. So we have everything we need for LMF right now. We have our Hook Beetle, we have our bombs. We have a bow. Bellows. This seed really has done a really good job so far of just giving us everything we need before we go into an area.
Yeah, I mean, the other reason I would be afraid of the J word is we do need to find 2 Earth Temple keys as well.
True. Which I feel like I feel like they're probably somewhere in Gorge / Sand Sea.
I mean, they could also be anywhere in Farron. Like, we don't have to go to Farron for anything other than items, and Farron Woods was not hinted dead. But, yeah, I mean, full clearing LMF, the only thing you might prefer is the whip to do the fast strat for this room, but, like, you're not really going to complain, because you've got the full LMF pack.
Especially whip trick can sometimes be a little finicky. I personally, I can never really pull it off. So it's just faster to do just the intended route. The one good thing about season 3 having main node, lightning node, and nobody's gonna forget the puzzle. No one's gonna forget the solution.
Yeah, it is. I will say, like, one of the... With this main node, though, it is really important to know either the bit warp or Temple of Time skip. This is probably one of the most essential tricks to learn if you want to do Skyward Sword. The bit warp is not too hard to learn. It's one of the easier back in time tricks, but it still does require you to learn back in time.
Yeah.
We're going to see another double break slide here from Oni to skip this room.
Break sliding, I feel like overall is easier to understand, but it's a lot harder to execute to a precise degree.
Yes. Actually getting the ESS position is harder than... It is harder than you would think.
Yeah, but compared to back in time, I feel like...
It's easier to understand.
It's a little easier to understand, yeah.
Okay, I'm interesting. So this first room didn't ping. I don't know if it's faster to go through the normal way or bit warp and go in reverse. The second room here pings. I think it's pretty close. I'm sure someone's done the math on it. Because there is a way to bypass this whole west wing, and you can actually go backwards into the second room. But I don't know which one is actually faster. And we're kind of seeing what I talked about with Audrey doing the bit warp, is he kind of had to go back to do Fire Node. When you have to go into LMF and clear it, there's a little bit more backtracking this way. But also, doing the trick you're more comfortable with is more important. Temple of Time skip, if you don't feel really comfortable with doing break slides, is really tricky. Like, it is one of those tricks that is harder than it appears, I would say. Whereas that bit warp is, I'm not going to say easy, but relatively straightforward. And all else aside, fairly consistent.
Yeah, I would say of all the commonly used back in time tricks, bit warping is probably the easiest.
Yes, definitely. And that statue in particular is used for, what, 3 different tricks at least?
At least, yeah. It says you can use it in here. You technically can use it in mines if you want to do any percent route stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking of
caves.
I was thinking about Skyview. I was thinking about
Skyview as well, yep.
Yeah, I didn't see if anything pinged in the key locked room, the small key locked.
It does not appear so from Andrew's pings.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but
there's our boss key.
Yeah, it's I couldn't see if the shortcut chest or if the 2 bomb loss checks had anything either when Oni doused, so I'm going to pay attention. One of them has to be the small key. So,
yeah,
because we haven't seen the small key yet. But I'm going to pay attention when Audrey goes in here. Oh, he's getting... Are these mini... I don't know if these mini Staldras are called... These little scorpions. They troll you.
I don't know either.
They tend to troll you a little bit.
Something like arachnoids or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's a play on of arachnid, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know what they're called, but they troll.
They're
okay, so
a little annoying.
There is actually something locked behind the key door, and it's the one. There's no way to kind of bypass it and skip it. Back in time.
It's the one behind the bars.
Yes. So I wonder how we're going to see the runners do this. because you might just gamble it and skip it. I don't think you're going to skip getting the small key unless it's on the boss key chest. It's something in a race you could see someone gambling. Because that is the...
Gotchas. Thank you, Viola.
Yeah, so the small key is on the boss key chest, which is kind of the worst chest in LMF.
Yeah.
I still think you're going to get that chest and get the small key because there's not a good time to get it later. That said, I don't think you're going to go back for the chest in that room right away.
Ooh, the gambler's tendency in me is really just saying skip it, but
yeah, I would,
especially with the items that we have currently.
Yeah, I mean, at the least, I would beat the boss.
Yeah. And we have Oni going for a very precise trick here where we're going to get up onto the minecart. And we're going to be piloting the beetle to hit the time shift stone while we are on it. Which this is one of two commonly used variations of this trick. Another one is by using the bombs, which requires you to be a little more consistent on getting on the minecart. But if you are fairly consistent in it and you get your spacing right, you can do it. I personally vouch for the beetle method myself, even though it might be a little bit more harder to pull off.
Yeah. I'm going to do a quick refresh of the streams. They're a little bit behind, so you may have to refresh as well. Just bear with me, everyone. Okay.
And Adri doing the bit warp, or has done the bit warp.
Yeah, I don't know if there's actually anything in that chest on that side. I don't remember.
Yeah, I do not believe there was anything. Oh, LMF.
Yeah, it's I think it's really hard to gamble getting the small key because getting back here is so slow. But I also think you're not going to go get what's locked behind the small key until much later. Like, if you have to come back with claw shots in Linearu, which you know you do, that might be a good time to go get that chest. If Linearu Silent Realm has something. But I do think you're kind of gambling that it's nothing important. Because having to backtrack and do the full dungeon again is just really awful.
Yeah. Small key on boss key is definitely the worst LMF configuration you can get. The only thing that would make it worse is if boss key was small key locked. And we have Oni doing a little trick here with the hook beetle. If you fly into the statue at a semi-precise angle, you can actually hit the crystal behind the statue without knocking them down, which can save a little bit of time in cutscenes.
Yeah, it saves a little bit of time. I just I'm not great at it. Oh, Oni was trying to jump off and void out, and instead jumped onto that statue, or onto the platform. Because if you void out, you'll get spawned back to the last hard surface you were at.
Yeah. And Andrew also doing the beetle method of the minecart trick. Shoutouts to both of those runners for doing that, because it is definitely harder than it looks to do that.
I mean, both versions of that minecart trick are...
Both, yes. Both are very difficult.
I find the beetle trick easier than the bomb trick, though. Just because you can keep jumping on it. You don't have that time. I actually think more people do the beetle trick than the bomb trick these days because of that. But yeah, we are seeing... So Oni kept his health low and saved at the statue here, so he was able to death war. This is a little time save as well, because you don't have to go backwards to the room, minecart. If you ever have to go get the boss key chest, this is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with this legend. The jump up is definitely harder with the beetle, but you have unlimited time to do it.
Yes. Yeah, I have never even tried to learn the bomb one because I prefer having more attempts. But yeah, it's I know there is a consistent setup for the bomb strap, but I don't know what it is. I just never have personally bothered to learn it. Yeah, so what we're going to see Oni do here, because he doesn't have slingshot, and bow is not really a good way to get the eye, so we're just going to see him use the shield. When you shield parry Moldarak, you get 2 hits at the eye.
Sometimes you can get a third with a well-timed spin attack.
Yeah. So the way Moldarak works, the right claw has... I think it is the right claw has 5 hits and the left claw has 7. So once you kill one, the other one is the one that opens. And then if you can stab quickly enough and your Wiimote cooperates, you can get all 4 hits before he goes underground.
And very clean from Oni's side.
Yeah, it is. That second phase is harder than it looks.
Having Master Sword does kind of help with that, having a little bit of a longer reach. So your stabs have a little bit more range if you don't have Moldarak squarely against the wall. Well, that is 1 dungeon down out of our 3 required. And there's a wallet. That's nice.
I mean, that wallet is at least a possibly required wallet. Wallets, because there is that bow and gratitude crystals, wallets will not be in barren regions.
Yeah, so we can get, if we get another wallet, we'll be able to pick up that pack of gratitude crystals without any additional effort. That'd be a quick 5 to get. Oh, thank you, Oni, for cleaning off the statues. That's nice of you.
Yeah. This is not out of logic, Sledge, because they have Hook Beetle. Hook Beetle put all of Lanayru Desert in logic.
And we should be getting the all-important Temple of Time hintstone, or
no? So Temple of Time hintstone is not.
Oh, it doesn't give anything in these settings.
Yeah, so we've removed that one. We've removed the shipyard one and the 2 that are in Boko Base, the 2 Elden Volcano / Boko Base ones.
Okay.
Yeah. One, you were involved in season 2. One common complaint was that sometimes the two really out of the way terrible hints to get had the critical hint, and you were kind of playing a casino for that. There are hints that are a little out of the way and you may not get, but there's none that are, you know, a 2 or 3 minute detour that have no checks near them. There are some that are in barren regions, but yeah, and I'm not surprised with the items we have that Oni is going back here, because there's just not a lot left in logic at this point. That harp does put the scale in logic, and there could also be something like the gratitude crystal pack in Skyward Silent Realm, but you don't really want to do that. So it does make a lot of sense to come back here and get this chest, just with how few checks you have left. Like, Oni's tracker says 9 left, and I'm curious what those are, because it can't be that. It can't be that much. I
believe Andrews has 8,
and I think of those, 4 of them are the Skyward Silent Realm, which you don't really want to do.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing I will say is that cannot bottleneck us for something on Betrothed 30. Because if it did, if there were gratitude crystals there, they would be hinted required. We do have harp, which you can get the item from Colin. I'm trying to think what else could be in logic. There's not a lot. Beetles, crystals. Like, I think given that this pinged, it's worth coming back here. And we're probably going to see some kind of Sky and Skyloft cleanup and
pot shots.
Okay.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to see Oni warp to start, go into Linear Gorge. He can get, or not Linear. Wait.
We could go to Linear Gorge. We are missing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Life tree fruit, but
yeah, but that gorge, was that Gorge to Tenellis?
It was Gorge to Tenellis, so we have a 2/3 chance of something there.
It's got to lead. It's either Cave's Key or something that leads to Cave's Key.
We have Cave's Key. We already have Cave's Key. That was a while ago.
Or something that leads to Whip.
Whip or C-Chart.
Yeah, this is probably still faster, though, for Oni, thinking about it, than leaving.
Plus, we also have all the rest of Desert opened up.
And Sansi. Yeah, if I were Oni, I might have left to do the chest by Fire node and the chest by Lightning node. Like, got a statue and left. Which I think we'll see Audrey do that, actually. I forgot about that there were a couple of claw shot locked things here. It probably would have been faster, actually, from where Oni was to just leave, but he might have not thought about that either.
Yeah.
Because when you get that claw shot, you have Gorge.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit of tunnel vision there.
Yeah. I said warp to start because I have had just so many seeds
that are Gorge starts.
Yes.
Yeah, Gorge starts, Lake Floria starts, and Vanilla starts. I feel like are really common. And there's always Speaking Skyforce.
Okay. So to beat the seed, we potentially need Whip. Well, we do need Whip because that is the only thing that Gorge is responding to. We need 2 Earth Temple key pieces.
Could it not be C-Chart?
Oh, you're right. Yes, it could be C-Chart. So we need C-Chart, Whip, and 2 Earth Temple key pieces. That said, we don't have a lot pointing us to anything. I do think that Skyloft to Scaldera was probably still Arceus key. So one of the ET key pieces is probably in Sans. I think that's probably what Oni and Audrey are both thinking about.
Okay, Skipper's Retreat Shack chest is dead.
Yep.
That's always a good hint to have.
ET Rupian Lava Tunnel, also dead, which is a nice hint if you feel good about the back in time trick.
Alright, so what are we gonna get here? What is that? Looks like
that's a whip.
That's a whip, yep.
So that means, I mean, we don't know what that means till we see what's in Sandchip, but the boss key has to be locked behind whip in some way. Could just be for key logic, because the boss key is on one of the 2 key lock checks, or it could be for just the boss key itself being physically locked. Because most of the checks in Sandchip are locked behind whip. I think it's over half. Depending on key logic, even more. So yeah, we need C chart and 2 Earth Temple key pieces. This could be a very fast seed.
And there's our Emerald Tablets, another required item.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to Farron, though, until you have to.
Well, like, here's now an interesting thing. The tablet, yeah, as you all said, the tablet could be Path 2.
It could be for C chart, yeah. But I think with the cave's key path to Scaldera, if you remember that, you're probably gonna go do Sansi first.
Yeah.
Like, the seed is probably gonna make you go to Farron anyway.
Oh, well, looks like we are going to the sky. Looks like we might just be going to Farron.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can be going back to Skyloft, doing a little bit more cleanup. Actually, have Zelda's Closet. We have Bird's Nest. We have Call Insider. We have the Trial.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the Trial right now. Because at this point, with the items we have, there is no way...
just going right to Farron.
There is no way that Skyloft Trial has anything required.
Yeah, at this point.
Because Scale can't lock any of your Go Mode items. At most, Scale is going to lock some Gravity Crystal packs. The only reason possibly required could not be fully ruled out is weird crystal logic for Betroth 40 and 50, where Scale locks certain... Like, Scale locks one pack, and the other pack is in that trial. But other than that kind of weird edge case where there are multiple possibly required crystal packs for something on back.
Also, this is a really great statue to start off with.
Yes.
We started off with the Great Tree statue. Oh, that is so good.
I'm hoping we see some route divergence and we see Audrey go Sansi first here. Just because I like to see divergence.
Yeah.
I also will admit that if I were I would have stuck with Sansi in their shoes at this point.
Yeah. I just don't know what I would do in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
But you know Sansi is... For me, at least, you know Sansi has something that is required. Or likely does. It's a little slower. But... No, we are seeing Audrey also. Nope. He was about to.
All right, so we're gonna get that divergence, and yes, happy 1 hour.
Yeah, please go give our runners a follow, Oni and Audrey. As I say, Ani and Audrey. Thank you to our trackers, Echo and Joshi, and thanks Firework for co-commentating with me.
Yeah, it's always fun to commentate Skyward Sword Randomizer. I always learn something new whenever I commentate Skyward Sword Race.
Yeah. Oni is doing what I think is a fairly common gamble here, and he's skipping the Kikwi Elder's reward. That check is somewhat likely to get hinted. There's our fire shield.
Fire shield earrings.
Yeah, I wonder when we're going to see people go into Boko Base now.
Yeah, about to say that we now have everything really we need for Boko Base.
Yeah. I wonder. So, I would personally just skip Lake Flory together, including the hint here. But I could see. Actually, maybe I would get the hint. But I could see someone just skipping Lake Flory altogether, saying scale is possibly required. I would think about getting the hint just for information, but I get why you wouldn't bother.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's not a whole lot of useful information we have left.
The most useful thing you could get at this point are hints within Sandship. So there are 2 hintable locations in Sandship that can tell you a lot about what you need to do.
Yeah, that being the Gervo and the break, correct?
Yes. So it's at least something I would think about, because the hint's not too out of the way, but it is kind of taking a detour.
Okay, well, that's a very convenient hint.
Yes. Especially because, well, you can't go get that.
But it's right there.
But it's hinted right where you are.
There's our first keys.
So that we're gonna see Audrey get the second one. It looked like Skipper's Retreat didn't have anything because he skipped it. I actually was not paying enough attention.
Yeah, I do not believe we stopped at Skipper's.
Yeah.
It's always interesting because it's very rare that you see something required on Song from Impa.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting.
Yeah. Slingshot, which not useful.
Gonna do these out of logic?
Yes. Yeah, so these 2 pillars, because to get them from the dock, you need Quick Beetle. When doing the game logic, required Quick Beetle, but there is a way to get them with just a regular beetle or hook beetle from here. If you're standing on... You just have to be a little precise with the timing.
Like that. Oh.
I'm guessing Audrey was able to peek the other one because he didn't.
Yeah.
Check it.
There's our duplicate check.
Yeah. But it's the ET key piece or something leading to it has to be here. And there's 2 things pinging here. I think it's first chest and the 3rd chest, but I'm not 100% sure.
I never trust pings in Pirates. I'm like, okay, something's pinging in here. I'll just double check when I get to the 1st chest.
Oh yeah, I do too, but the 3rd is the one from the beginning I'm usually able to figure out. But
oh, and he's just taking care of the Skyloft cleanup. Gonna get Petrus now, getting the bottle. Did we find all the bottles? I think we either found all of them or just missing 1.
I think we found 3 or 4, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so it's the 2nd and 3rd.
There are certain places where dowsing can get very confusing.
Yeah. Dowsing, for as very powerful as it does have its drawbacks sometimes.
Yeah, you have to be careful. It is really easy to misdouse and get the wrong things. I do think...
Very nice hops from Andrew. There's other key piece.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, Audrey might have more incentive to full clear Farron, including Kikwi Elder. Kikwi Elder is a tricky one to decide what to do with, I would say.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of slow. It is a sometimes hint. But it could just be in a location you never see. Because there are hints that are just latent logic that you don't see very often. No, Sledge, what happens is if you end up in the current time area, as opposed to... like the Boko literally can't cross over the time shift stone. So even if it can hit you, when you've crossed over, the Boko actually will not even hit you sometimes.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense because, like, I feel like, you know, they just wouldn't be able to see, like, they cannot, like, you just disappear from their field of vision because you're in a different time era. That's my headcanon.
I don't understand the magic system fully. This is not a Brandon Sanderson book. There's no hard magic here.
Also, time travel is always complicated.
Yes. Is the Boko your grandfather?
We'll find out when we kill it.
I'm glad you appreciate referencing. I was like, not sure if I was going to make the joke. But I feel like
time travel always complicates things. No two instances of time travel are ever the same.
Yeah, the Kikwi Elder is a really interesting, tough thing to gamble. I think in
also
both of these places.
That also the starting statue did place heavily in your routing of it, since you have to start with Machi first.
You do not. That actually got
changed.
You do not?
It got changed?
So that was a change that was made in the HD randomizer that got patched over.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. So you can do the Kikwis in any order now. Oni is going to Boko base first, before Sansi. Boko base could have our C chart.
Yeah.
Volcano Summit could also have something.
I don't think Oni went to Deep Woods.
He did.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, he did. I remember him getting the viewing platform statue. I want to say C chart's going to be on bat 30 at this point.
Entirely possible, because so far we haven't gotten anything useful on Betro. Betro could have something that's only possibly required, like a bow, a bottle. Gratitude crystal packs would make it barren. I think, although there's weird... So, yeah, I mean, Betro is kind of sticking out as potentially having something useful. There's Boko Base.
Alright, Andrew's gonna get his other key piece here, so we will have access to Earth Temple.
Yeah, I think Audrey will go do that first. Which
yeah,
makes all sense.
There's definitely no reason not to go to Earth Temple.
He'll probably work to start. Yeah.
It's a pretty quick full clear.
Yeah, especially with the Rupee Tunnel dead. The Rupee in the tunnel.
It's definitely the fastest full clear of any of our required dungeons.
Of our 3, yes. Although, potentially if you can go mode Sandship, it could be really quick.
Yeah.
Depending on where the boss key is.
And gratitude crystals. Betro is definitely looking more and more likely.
Yeah, I mean, because Betro was not Baron, and our Baron regions were all places with fewer checks than Betro, I would at least be suspicious that Betro has something. I am a loose crystal enjoyer. I would have considered doing loose crystals and pushing Betro harder, but actually maybe not in this seed, even if I were taking risks. Because I probably would have done kind of what Audrey has done at this point. So I'd probably be in Earth Temple. But like after Earth Temple, I think you really do have to consider pushing Betro.
And more gratitude crystals.
Yeah, I mean, again, if all that Boko Base has is gratitude crystals,
Okay, let's see what the fire dragon has for us.
yeah.
And just a piece of heart. And boss key very early on in Earth Temple. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, now you're kind of hoping Earth Temple doesn't have anything useful.
Yeah. It's definitely a dungeon where you just want to get in, get out. Okay, we got a song with the gratitude crystal pack, Din's Power.
Yeah, they're not going to go check that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Especially not Eldon. That's just a little too much.
And welcome in Raiders from ZSR2. I think they were doing the Link to the Past restricted major glitches monthly race. Think that's what's happening. Welcome into Skyward
nice.
Sword Randomizer.
Welcome to the third dimension.
Yeah. That is a fun Link to the Past run. You get to see some interesting things. Betro 50 is dead.
That's a good hint. So Betro has something. It's got to be around a 30 or 40.
Yeah, and I don't think it can be Gratitude Crystal Pack or something that only locks Gratitude Crystal Pack. So I do think so. Oni's got 30 crystals. 40 is in logic. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to go to Sansi. Just because if he figured out that central Skyloft is path for it.
All right, Andrew's going to be doing another back in time trick. This time, we're going to be doing a reverse bit magic, I believe. Where we're going to go into the Night Academy and start our file as we're talking to Pivot, which will open up the bridge in the dungeon, saving a decent amount of time, since we do not have to worry about the rupee in the lava tunnel.
Yes. This is a kind of... This trick is a little... I learned this recently, a little more difficult, because you cannot open up the start splash screen, or you will crash your game. So every time you press A, you actually have to press A on the no on the Wii Motion Plus tutorial.
Yeah.
If you're used to it, it's not that hard, but if you didn't do it, you would crash here. Once you actually get inside, it's pretty easy, but getting inside is tricky.
Yeah, the main thing is we don't want to load a file that has the tunic, which in Rando, all files you start have the tunic. Unless you do something specific to bypass it, like a corrupt file, you will crash upon entering. And yeah, obviously we do not want to watch the Wii Motion Plus tutorial.
Yes, you do not want to do that either. It's pretty easy to avoid that, but...
I've definitely done it a couple of times. Just a quick little flick of the analog stick and it moves the button and you're not thinking and you press A and yeah, it's not fun.
Audrey checked the Led's gift and the boat.
Yes. He did go and do the fight.
Yeah, nothing else was dousing here though. Except unless maybe the boss key chest had something. We'll see. But there's got to be...
Very nice stutter sprinting from Adri to get up that slope a little faster.
Yeah, that is a trick where you kind of time your A presses and you can run up the slope. It is something people can do casually, but it is obviously a little advanced. It's not considered part of logic.
Okay, there's just a wall. We are rich, the seed.
Yeah, I mean, that wallet does lock 5 gratitude crystals. Audrey is at 25.
Yes.
So he might actually be interested in getting the crystals on. I mean, they both might actually be interested in the crystals on Dual Shah.
Yeah.
Because you only have to do 5 loose. If you do that,
yeah.
I mean, your options for C chart are not like... They do have a lot of locations accessible, I guess. But your options for C chart are not like crazy high, and so Patro is definitely something you're
Onius using the whip to kill the keys. I love that.
It is the fastest way to kill keys.
It is, and I love that. And a nice kill with the hook beetle.
Yeah. I do kind of think at this point, I mean, they've been pretty neck and neck, but I do think, especially because Boko Base just hasn't had anything, if Audrey skips Boko Base, that could be pretty good for him.
Yeah. If we really like push that Betro, or like maybe Zelda's Closet also.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential things. Audrey, I think, getting a few less hits than he was hoping for in phase 1 here. But he does know the strat.
And a very clean 2-cycle.
Yeah.
Nice bicycle.
Yeah. If you get, I think it's like 2 hits, 2 or 3 on the first phase, and blow up the bomb down there with Master Sword. Scald Arrow will basically stay down, and then you can get a few hits. So yeah, that was a very clean one.
And rattle. Okay, that's another option there.
Yeah, that could. I'm wondering, is Audrey gonna do cleanup, or is he gonna go to Boko Base? Because Boko Base is accessible.
I hope he does cleanup.
Yeah, it's like a hard call.
It is a hard call. At this point, we're really not looking for much here. We're literally just looking for C chart at this point. There's the key piece for Oni, who I imagine will probably go right to Earth Temple after this. Ooh, these Bokos are being a little mean today.
Yeah, the Deku Babas. The timing is not too hard, but they can be a little tricky.
Yeah. They can be a little bully sometimes. Alright, Oni's going to be getting more gratitude crystals from this, if I remember correctly. So he could just get the 5 from Beetle and then just do bat 40. Bat 30 and 40.
I just don't know.
And we're back in Boko Base for Adri, so he's gonna get those gratitude crystals.
Yeah, I mean, Boko Base makes a lot of sense. It is probably the most check dense area.
And yeah, Oni is going right to Earth Temple.
I mean, Oni's shoes, this makes a huge amount of sense.
Yeah. Like we have a quick dungeon to clear. A lot of checks getting knocked out all at once. So makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, I'm looking, Oni has 28 checks, but I think 10 to 12 of those are just in Earth Temple. Audrey has 17. A bunch of these are in Boko Base.
Yeah, all of our orders are just pursuing their most check dense places and hoping to run into that C chart.
Yeah, I mean, that is our go mode at this point, is the C chart.
Yeah.
You're not going to complain if you run into another sword, but
at this point,
I
feel like our TMS is in Lake Floria at this point.
It's definitely possible it could be in one of the Silent Realms we never get to.
That is also true.
I feel like there's not a lot to say though right now because we're just seeing them kind of retrace each other's paths. They're pretty close to even at this point, I would say. Like, Oni has probably cleared a few more things than Audrey because he's done a few more overworld things. You know, the worst case scenario I think at this point is like TMS, or not TMS, C chart on Kikwi Elder's reward.
Yeah, that would be
which
something.
At this point, like, that hint could be in Lake Floria, which they're not going to check. It could be in Deep Woods, which they're not going to check.
I mean, there is still a chance that that Emerald Tablet is path for C chart, because we don't know about the keys situation.
Yeah,
So there exists a world in which that is the logic, and it's terrifying to think about.
Yeah, I mean, there are probably worse things than Kikwi Elder's reward, like a multi-trial chain of some kind.
Yeah.
Which I've had before.
As far as we know right now, that is not the case unless we find Feor or Nehru's somewhere with a required hint.
Yeah. Yeah, so Audrey is about to get the last two things that Oni did not. He will probably warp to start to further in the room where he can't get to, and then go back to the sky. But I think, was this a crystal pack? Or
I believe this is a crystal pack.
No, that was Dins. But Audrey, I think, with his money and everything, and 35 crystals, I think is probably going to do Betrow 1340 when he goes up to Skyloft. I think they both will. Because again, like, what do you have left to do? That's probably a better check than anything else. Especially, I think Audrey's about to get the 50 Baron, because I think that hint was here.
Yes, that hint was here.
And that hint is going to make you feel pretty good. Because now you can full clear Betrow's house with that crystal pack.
And we can also check Beetle's crystals. I don't think either of our runners did that.
Yes, that is definitely one you're going to want to check as well.
Save yourself 400 rupees on that gratitude crystal pack. Because obviously we need to save every last rupee, right? It's always interesting having Beetle's Insect Cage in play when there are more expensive items in Beetle's shop. It's a lot more diversity in money routing.
Yeah, so we are going to see Audrey do the cleanup here. He's going to check the hint at the item Bird's Nest. He'll probably then go do Birdie's crystals. But yeah, we're going to have to see. Like, I think for Audrey, it makes sense to get the crystals. Probably do Zelda's Closet, do item from Colin.
Yeah, and then just using the Sleep Tonight to go get Birdie and open up Betrow.
Yeah, and we're kind of we don't really have a lot of information about that sea chart. Like, unless it's Emerald Tablet.
Yeah, we're either going to see the sea chart like fairly shortly, or it's gonna be a little bit of an issue. And I really wish we could jump over that railing. It's really a shame that we can't. It's one of the most annoying railings in the game on Beetle's ship.
Oh yeah, the collisions are very weird, like what you can and can't jump over. They're not gonna necessarily, they don't have to do a lot of back in time, so that heart again is nice to have.
Speaking of heart containers, 1600 is a heart container.
Well, never gonna have to get that. Thankfully.
Never gonna have to get that, yeah.
Only in All Sanity will we play with that. Yeah, Oni, he may not know this strategy. The fast Scaldera strats are not the most well-known, I would say, because it's very situational. It depends on what sword you have. And let's see what Petro has. If it's the C chart, then Audrey is in go mode.
Additional wallet.
Oh no.
Okay, we got one more chance. Oh,
so Petro was
Baron.
I mean, not because
the wallet made it not Baron, but
although it's the wallet for the Gratitude Crystal pack. Right.
And the bow.
Oh yeah.
You can also.
Yep. And that bow with sand chip can't be anything less than possibly required because it's not. Yeah.
Oh, so that does that really narrows it down to either something on Skyloft cleanup or Kiwi Elder.
Yep. We're gonna see very quickly. Audrey just clicked off a bunch of stuff on his tracker. He's down to 5 locations accessible. So we have this check. We've got item from Colin, Zelda's closet.
And then trials.
Kiwi Elder.
Kiwi Elder.
5 locations. So
there's our C chart.
And there's our go mode.
Okay. Oh. Got a little scared for a moment there. Not gonna lie.
We can definitely mark Audrey as in go mode. He's just gonna have to find the boss key.
Which we now know is whip locked.
Yes. But the question still is it whip locked for key logic, or is it whip locked for something that's actually locked by whip? Which is the tricky thing with Sand Chip, because both small key doors require 2 small keys, logically. So you're kind of hoping, I think, to get a small key early so you can, like, save scum some things.
Yeah. For me personally, I would probably route this as just a rush treasure room. And just hope that boss key is there.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of your hope here, is that it's vanilla boss key.
Very clean shots on the sand ship.
Yes, the sand chip control a little bit.
Yeah, definitely can.
Looked like I couldn't tell which of the two chests pinged.
I want to say that's combo lock. I feel like Stern would be a little bit farther away.
Yeah, those two chests are pretty. They're hard to douse. Audrey is safe scumming already, I think.
I think he's setting up for masked skip.
Oh, okay. I don't know them. Masked skip is something I don't.
I'm not all too familiar with it either. I'm kind of just spitballing here.
He's damaging down.
Yeah. The way mass skip works is by exiting the dungeon while the time shift stone is active.
Right.
Or alternatively, he could be setting up for tenless skip.
Yeah, that's possible.
That would be a power play right there.
He doesn't have a bit magic file.
Yeah.
To do it, so I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can even do it in that case without a bit magic file.
Yeah, I mean, tenless skip. This is a case where it's useful, but it's definitely one of the more niche back in time strategies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep, he is mass skipping.
Yep.
But I don't think he got it.
I don't think that's gonna work. Cause I think you need to
kind of be off the edge when it blows up.
Yeah, you need to die far away enough to where it can't really place you anywhere except for where you last saved.
Yeah. I know it's a little tricky with this one.
Yeah. A lot of times, mass skip is usually just done with if you already have a small key, like in Remlets.
Right.
Mass skip was very easy in Remlets, because you would just unlock the boss key door and then and then leave the dungeon from that statue. Yeah, so we're just gonna go skilled mass the normal way.
Yeah, I mean, I think when in doubt, if you're not 100% sure that the chest at the stern doesn't have anything, and it could have a required key, you're kind of going to want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like there are a lot of checks, so it's not guaranteed that you're going to have a key there, but if it does have a key, it's really nice because you can then kind of save scum the boss key room or Skirvo.
So Oni has gotten the C chart and is hot on the trail.
So that is definitely not the chest at the stern. From where Audrey was dousing. He'll probably check again, but no, he knows it's not.
Don't forget to shoot the boat down. Nice job.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a very interesting camera angle inside the sand ship there. So it looks like we have a race. This is a race right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Audrey is definitely ahead, but it's really going to depend on like what they decide to do.
Yeah,
small keys especially.
It's going to be the order of operations and the execution. I feel like at this point, because the 3 pings that we know, I think we got 2 pings in Treasure Room, at least, and 1 on the combo lock. So that's pretty much a 2 out of 3 chance that your boss key is on Treasure Room.
Yeah, and it didn't look like the 4-door corridor had something, because I think Audrey would have checked it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to route a go mode sand ship because you want to be able to take the risk that you don't have to do the brig. Because it's the slowest check in the dungeon. You have to do the full puzzle. There's probably a hint for it or Skirvo somewhere out there.
Thankfully, thanks to recent updates, we now don't have to watch all of the cutscenes of Sandship.
Yeah, it doesn't save as much time as you would think, though.
Yeah. But sometimes a good placebo effect can feel nice.
Yeah, I know.
Hearing Adri's custom music definitely makes the scene feel a lot more tense.
Yes.
I believe you said his was Fire Emblem? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Joshi definitely recognizes this music. Joshi, a noted Fire Emblem fan. I'm assuming Joshua as a character in Fire Emblem 8. I believe that is Joshi's namesake. I mean, you're kind of hoping that the boss key is just here on the treasure room.
Alright, first one. Is it going to be a one and done? Nope.
I mean, there are decent chances that it's...
And there it is.
Okay. So, Audrey actually skipped this check here that Oni is going to get. This is going to be like a 2... I don't know, somewhere in the range of like 205 to 210, probably, for Audrey. Like, Sandship is kind of slow, and you've got to do Horde and such, but...
I did not realize that you could Void Warp there. All right, we're gonna have to see how this Tenless fight goes.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if one other runner in this race does Tenless skip, but it's probably not something most people will do.
Yeah, Tenless skip for how complex it is. It doesn't save as much time as you would think it does. I think it maybe saves like a minute, if that, maybe like 40 seconds. Over a clean Tenless fight.
Yeah, I don't know the exact timing.
I feel like it was somewhere around the ballpark of 40 minutes to... not 40 minutes, not 40 minutes. 40 seconds to a minute. That'd be insane if it saved 40 minutes. That would definitely be a band trick in that case, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know, not a lot to say about this fight. Gotta do the escape, then fight Tenless. It's one of the slower boss fights in the game.
Yeah, between the escape sequence and the actual fight.
It's probably the slowest boss fight. Which is why the fact that you can skip it is nice sometimes. Although the skip, you don't get to skip the escape. Right?
Yeah, no. If you skip Tenless, you would to this part, skip the cutscene, and then get the check for the end of the dungeon.
Yeah. This is also a surprisingly tricky fight because Tantalus, shooting the eye, Tantalus control, like you saw Audrey missed it. Sometimes the eye just moves in unpredictable ways. Yeah, Oni is really only like 3 minutes behind. So this is, it's still a close race. Like, it's probably outside the realm of Horde skip, but...
Yeah, but still, Horde can definitely still have a factor.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, like, just... Audrey going to Sandsea soon.
Because Horde is definitely a skill check of this game.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. It is the ultimate skill check, I think, in Season 3.
Yes, definitely.
It is punishing. Even if you do everything right, you can just get bodied. The Horde phase skip, even if you do everything right, you just sometimes won't get it.
It's really just a matter of, are you willing to spend a little time to do some crowd control to make things a little easier so you're not swamped with monsters?
Audrey definitely almost got bodied. We are also seeing, you'll see both of our runners do this. So this is exclusive to the US 1.0 version. The Gust Bellows do damage to Tantalus's eye. Nobody really knows why, only in this version.
I still like to think that it's because it's a reference to anyone who's ever had a glaucoma test for an eye exam.
I mean...
They know the pain.
Yes.
That's my headcanon.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Aonuma got his eyes tested and was like, yeah, this was a pain. Let's put this in the game.
But it's weird that it's only in one version. That's all I'm saying.
And actually doing a very difficult strat where he voided out and very quickly did another bow shot to shorten the phase by a little bit.
Yeah, this is another... I mean, it's... Tricky is the wrong word. Like, it's a weird trick, though.
It is a weird trick. You definitely need some reflexes for it as well.
Yes. It is... That is a good way to describe it, is you need reflexes to do it right. And you need your motion controls to actually work with you, which just doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you know. Sometimes motion controls just have a mind of their own.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that this dungeon is probably one of the most forgettable dungeons of this game.
I feel like, I'm going to be honest. So I watch a lot of Uter. I feel like Sandship is our version of OT Forest Temple. It's a dungeon that is actually a pretty cool design in the vanilla game, but that in the rando, because of the way you have to do it, is less interesting. Like, Ancient Cistern is the coolest dungeon by far.
Also,
but
it
also works in rando.
Definitely brings the dungeon down.
Yes, that is valid. Tantalus is... I think you can fairly say Tantalus is the worst boss in the game.
I'd say it's a toss-up between Tantalus and Moldarak.
That's fair, and having to fight Moldarak twice also in the vanilla game makes it worse. Moldarak is memorable, I think, in a way that... Like, Tantalus is just kind of not memorable, either. The escape is memorable. The boss fight itself is just, like, eh. I don't know, maybe I'm underselling Tantalus.
I mean, Tantalus does make for a good animated emote.
That is true, yes. Look, Chloe, I think this just means that Cube David needs to get you to play Skyward Sword again sometime. Yeah, Audrey not taking the fairy, just using it to heal. You will, in Season 3, I think you will see a lot of runners who don't feel super comfortable, just grab the fairy.
Yeah, I will always be an advocate for fairy with Horde.
Yeah. I mean, you played Season 2 when you had double damage, which was much worse.
Yeah.
For Horde, double damage and no heart spawns. I think those are... Decoupling some of those hero mode things has been one of the best changes to the randomizer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because we get things like the upgraded Skyward Strike, but not any of the other drawbacks of playing in hero mode.
Yeah, I forget who was responsible for that, but whichever developer it was really wonderful.
Another thing that also makes Horde interesting in these settings is we have Master Sword.
Yeah, which for this phase in particular makes it harder.
Yeah. True Master Sword, you have the option to stun them better.
Yes.
And catch them off guard to make for a little bit of easier crowd control.
Yeah, so those capped Bokos with True Master Sword will get stunned. With the Skyward Strike, actually, I think they can even take damage, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but with just Master Sword, they do not.
Also, hello, Yal, GG's.
Oh,
ooh,
and
almost on the skip, but we got the second best thing. All the moblins have died.
Yeah.
So actually still in a very good position.
Yeah, GG's Yal. We were speculating that maybe the whip was required just for key logic, and maybe the boss key would be in like vanilla, but obviously that didn't happen.
Or another theory was C chart on Kiki Elder.
Yeah, we did not see Kiki Elder. I assumed you also skipped Kiki Elder. Audrey actually getting some good crowd control here. This blue Boko phase, if you don't do crowd control well, can be really tricky because the Boko just kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
The blue Boko phase, my understanding is that's the one with double damage that was really bad without Horde Skip, because
I believe it.
It was the one that if you missed Horde Skip in double damage, you could really die on. 40
had a wallet. No, 30 had the wallet.
Yeah.
40 had a horn.
Yeah, we think the reason it was not is because that bow couldn't be eliminated completely. And the crystal, not the crystal, but the bow, maybe.
Yes, the bow is 600.
Because it was technically not hard locked behind another bow. Yeah. Yeah, we did think about it because we were trying to figure that out as well.
All right, come on, no billies. We're good. All right, just got a fairy. Also, I do want to say shoutouts to our European community. Both of our runners are from the French area.
They're both French. Yeah, it is very late for them.
Yeah, they both have clocks on their layouts, and it is just past midnight for them. So we respect our worldwide runners and appreciate them for pulling such late hours to enjoy some races.
Yeah, we definitely have been talking about trying to adjust the weekly times, try and make some a little more friendly for our. We do have a pretty sizable European community, something I know we're talking about.
That's one of the things I love about Skyward Sword, just having it be just this worldwide thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty heavy. It's US, but then we've got some UK, French runners. We have one Australian runner, Brazilian runner. Like, it's a small community, but we do have pretty big local reach. Yeah, Audrey, pretty clean G3. I feel like there's not much to say. Oni did get horde skip, so caught up a little bit, but horde skip definitely doesn't if you're a couple minutes behind. I will say the other thing that is really nice, the starting Hylian shield for the end game is really nice. And yeah, we're gonna see Audrey and Demise. We will see. I don't know if either runner is gonna want to come in for an interview. It's late. I know. I don't know how confident they feel in their English, so we'll see. Yeah, the starting Hylian shield was a thing. I think we had an influx of new runners after season 2, and that was something that I was one of them that we asked for. And then I think people kind of said it's a good change that we're going to keep.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of bosses and things in the game where
having a shield definitely has a little bit more of a safety buffer.
Audrey having a little trouble here in phase 1.
Ooh, very nice 3 houses theme for Demise. I like that. Very triumphant. Grabbing the lightning, doing our spin attacks, and that looks like that is GG's for Audrey.
And Audrey is going to come in for an interview, so we will we'll wait for Audrey. Oni is pretty close here as well. Did catch up a little time here, but was just a little further behind.
$204.55.
And I'm going to pull Audrey. GG, Audrey.
GG's.
So, what did you think of the scene?
I think that my routine must have been pretty good because my execution was the worst of all time.
It was not that bad. I think we are all our harshest critic in that sense. Yeah, you definitely... I mean, we only saw what Oni did. I think the thing that really helped you beat Oni was going to Sansi when you did. Oni put that off until after Farin and after some cleanup in Skyloft, and so you got to Earth Temple faster. And from that point, it was just kind of linear to... You get the rattle, you get Sea Chart.
I don't know why he didn't go to Sensi first, because the key was path. So maybe he forgot.
Yeah, there were other things in Central Skyloft, so it could have been other things as well. I mean,
but there weren't lots of things.
Maybe not.
I don't remember other things that the key. They were a bit alone.
I mean, the key piece could have been in Sandship, and
sure.
Could have been chasing the Emerald Tablet path possibility, which didn't end up playing out.
Oh, and
also
Beedle for hookshot in Lanayru.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
GG to Oni, who just finished up. I think it finished a couple seconds late, but just finished up on stream. I think Oni's going to come in for an interview as well. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I saw anything terrible on the execution, other than maybe, I mean, there's a little trouble on horn skip, but like, it felt pretty solid to me.
To be honest, horn skip was the less important error during this race, since I failed one back in time, a bit warp in Laneyru. I failed math skip. I failed lots of things.
Yeah. That's fair. I did forget about the linear a bit more. I'm gonna pull Oni in as well.
Yeah.
GG Oni.
GG.
So Oni, what did you think of the seed?
It's a jet seed.
I was right.
I know Fireworks said it way ahead of time.
I said it when we got Master Sword.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
He
thought
predicted the
it
jet
would be
seed
too. But yeah, with Keepis in Faron and C Short, I don't think it's really that jet, to be honest.
Yeah.
On average for the 3 races.
Yeah, I mean, 3 people finishing under 210. It's a fast seed on these settings.
Well, I've done a race, a seed like yesterday or 2 days ago, under 1 hour 45. So,
Wow.
compared to that,
Impressive.
but it was really a jet seed.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing how both of you perform in season 3. When the actual tournament starts. Hopefully well, not hopefully, but sometimes more evil logic can come into play for the real tournament. I know I was holding out for C chart on Kikwi Elder.
Yeah, I mean,
It could have been. We've
definitely had
nothing left.
Me?
Go ahead.
37. Location remaining.
Yeah, it's a fast seed.
I have 21 because I just erased lots of things behind the scales.
Whoa! Why?
Yeah, nobody ever got the scales. We didn't see it. We didn't see any dungeons.
Okay.
Not dungeons, Silent Realms.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was no Silent
And lots
Realm.
lots of things in Sandship left. So I think just 10 or 15 location remaining without Sandship.
You didn't find the sword in Boko Base? Early, no?
Yes, early.
You both were very consistent for the most part. I think the major divergence was when Oni went to Farron and Audrey went to Sansi. Other than that, you two were pretty much beat for beat, check for check.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the beginning of the seed, the difference was really just Oni did Temple time skip. Audrey, we talked about, failed the bit warp once and had to do it a second time. But like,
and
you
tried
all
to do the
were
third skip, but failed to.
Yeah.
It was very close the whole time, and like I said this. I was happy to see the divergence because it was like, okay, this just gives us something more interesting to talk about. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I have anything else I wanted to ask you two. I don't know if you two have anything.
No.
I think it's good.
No.
All right, then I think with that, we're going to wrap up the stream. So thank you to our 2 trackers, Joshi and Echo. Thanks to our runners, Oni and Audrey. And
Thank you too.
Thanks Firework for co-commentating with me. We will then. Let me pull up the ZSR schedule. So we are in the midst of the first round of the Ocarina of Time Season 8 tournament. So there's a lot of those matches going on all weekend. The next Skyward Sword weekly race will be next Sunday. So if you want to stay tuned for that. And if you are interested in Season 3, the Season 3 tournament qualifiers start in, I think it's a week from today or a week from yesterday. I should know the exact date as an organizer. But they are starting soon, and the main tournament starts in the beginning of February. So we're getting excited for that. With that, we're going to go raid Revan, who's doing some OTMM combo rando. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night.